There is no substitute to a sovereign and independent Biafran nation.
To have a special broadcast from the head of the Directorate of States, MAZI, CHIKA, EDOZIEM, without wasting time, because we are a few minutes late, which I am the cause of the problem. I mean the lateness. I crave your indulgence. I will not waste time. I will go straight to introducing our head of Directorate of States, MAZI, CHIKA, EDOZIEM. Please welcome, and the platform is yours.
Thank you so much, Maz Jonathan. Good evening, you great Biafrans. Good morning and good afternoon to you, depending on your location time. My name is MAZI, CHIKA, EDOZIEM. I am from Ihe in Biafra land. By the grace servant of the great and wonderful indigenous law of Biafra and the head of the Directorate of State. On Monday, the 28th of June 2021, Biafrans and the world at large woke up to the news making the rounds that the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, was in the custody of the Nigerian security agencies, the DSS to be precise. The IPOB leadership has, of course, through my office, confirmed this to be the case. I wish to use this opportunity to inform the Biafran people, friends and well-wishers, that our leader, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, was abducted criminally in Kenya and illegally brought into Nigeria. This criminal violation of international law was carried out by Nigeria in spite of the fact that Onyendu does not possess any Nigerian traveling document, having repudiated any previous connection he may have had with the contraption called Nigeria. Let me state without equivocation that our leader, Onyendumazi Nnamdi Kanu, is at the helm of our march to freedom, notwithstanding the present turn of events. And while Onyendu is temporarily and illegally in the custody of the Nigerian government, the Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra shall be implementing every one of our fundamental objectives, which our leader laid down for IPOB family worldwide. Our struggle for freedom is not just the desire to establish a geographical entity called Biafra. Of course, that is a fundamental objective of our self-determination struggle, but much more imperative, much more important is our hunger and thirst for truth, honorable and irrevocable freedom from all manner of subjugation and oppression. Freedom from every debilitating influence that retard and hinder the full realization and development of our heaven-endowed talents and gifts. We pursue that freedom, which a sovereign and independent Biafran nation shall provide our children and our generations yet unborn, so that they, like every other child in the civilized world, may dream big dreams and achieve these dreams in dignity and in liberty. Biafrans, There is no substitute to a sovereign and independent Biafran nation. As far as this great family of IPOB is concerned, our objective is three. The first of it is the restoration of Biafra. The second is the restoration of Biafra. And the third is, of course, the restoration of Biafra. A nation that our people must be proud of. We must recognize and accept the hard reality that there is no safety for us as a race anywhere in the world except in a free and independent Biafran state. As we reflect upon this unpalatable truth, we must begin to contemplate what shall become of and befall our children without a restored Biafran nation. Our heroes and heroines past gave great thought to this very truth, and they chose to fight for their freedom and the freedom of their children. This generation of Biafrans, this great family of the indigenous people of Biafra that our leader Oyedumazin has put in place, have chosen to toe the path of our heroes past, and we will not allow our children to be subservient to any race or nation. We must let history be our guide and learn from history what happened to the Jews, who were hounded all over the world for extermination until they joined hands to fight for their existence and for the creation of the state of Israel. Today, they have not only taken their due place amongst the community of nations, they are accorded their due respect as well. And Israelis can now live in any place of their choosing with the assurance that they have a nation and government that will come to their aid at every given time and moment in any part of the world they may reside. Therefore, this generation of Biafrans must accomplish this work for our children and our generations yet to be born. We must remain firm and focused in our pursuit. We must refrain from allowing the enemy to distract us and derail our march to freedom. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Oyedumazin Kanu, affirm our immutable right to determine our cultural, economic, and political systems, as well as our right to self-determination as guaranteed and proclaimed by the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples to Self-Determination. And of course, Articles 5, 6, 7, and 12 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, ratified and domesticated by the Nigerian government in the year 1983. In recognizing and upholding our right as indigenous people, we made a deliberate choice of non-violent methodology to achieve our stated objective as indigenous people. Our peaceful agitation notwithstanding, the Nigerian government continued unhindered its plan to exterminate our race and take over our ancestral land and resources through the instrumentality of the Fulani herdsmen on the one hand, and the Nigerian terrorists in uniform on the other hand. the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the police, the DSS, civil service, name it, all of them that they have, all the agencies that they have created and armed, all the objective is the same: to dispossess the Biafran people of our God-given inheritance and to commit another genocide as is being committed presently in our land. Despite the provocations, despite the arrests and torture, notwithstanding the degrading and inhuman treatment meted out to Biafrans and the cold-blooded murder and execution of unarmed, peaceful Biafran civilians, the indigenous people of Biafra has resisted the effort of the Nigerian government through its security agencies to compel us into violent agitation. Biafrans now, however, by this blunder of criminally abducting the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the Nigerian government alone shall be held accountable for the resulting consequences. By now, it should have become very obvious to the Nigerian zoo government that its state-sponsored acts of violence and terror, abductions, and extrajudicial murders cannot change our resolve to extricate ourselves from the oppressive and humiliating servile existence imposed upon us by the creators of the contraption called Nigeria. We remain undaunted in our conviction. We remain resolute in our belief in the justness of our cause, and we shall remain focused and dedicated in our pursuit of freedom for the indigenous people of Biafra. The IPOB worldwide family and all Biafrans must therefore close ranks and stand behind the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. It is time to activate the famed discipline for which we are admired the world over. All principal servants must adhere very strictly to our fundamental principle of command and control and apply the chain of command in the exercise of their functions and their duties. To the politicians of Biafran extraction, a small window of opportunity still remains for you to turn a new leaf and stand up in the defense of your people, because you do not have time ad infinitum. Politicians, traditional custodians, and all those who see themselves as elders, the time is now to be on the side of the people, the Biafran people, because the rain that is about to fall will spare no one. The Directorate will be using the Twitter handle at real IPOBDOS. I repeat, at real _IPOBDOS as its official medium to communicate and update Biafrans and the global community of new developments. I will therefore encourage every Biafran and all IPOB family members to follow this very handle at real_IPOB DOS. On the 26th of July 2021, being the date the Abuja Court of Justice Binta Nyako has fixed hearing, all roads must lead to Binta Nyako's court. And both the Nigerian government and the court must understand that the attention of the world community is fixed upon the zoo and their legal system. Prior to this very date, however, the Directorate of State demand that the Nigerian government must grant access to our leaders, personal physicians, and of course, international physicians that the leadership of indigenous people of Biafra shall put forward to do a thorough medical examination of our leader because of his deteriorating health condition. Finally, the Directorate of State appreciate all the solidarity from our Ambazonia and Oduduwa brothers, as well as from all well-meaning lovers of freedom, for your words of support and encouragement. We, the indigenous people of Biafra, and the Directorate of State do condemn in its entirety the violation of Sunday Igboho's residence by the Nigerian security agencies and the killing that resulted in that violation. These are people who call themselves soldiers, but they cannot face ordinary bandits. They cannot face terrorists, the Boko Haram, the ISWAP. They have only strength in attacking civilians and destroying people's property. IPOB wish to tell our Oduduwa brothers that we stand firmly with them at this time that Igboho had also been attacked, and we are ready to assist in any manner they may require of us. The God of our ancestor Chukwokika is in charge of this great family of the indigenous people of Biafra. And he is in total control of our march to freedom. It is therefore into his proactive and protective hand that I commit our leader, Onyedumazi Nnamdi Kanu. Chukwokika shall grant him victory over all our enemies and traducers. I will close with the words of Oyendu that Biafra is our identity and our religion, and Chukwokika is our creator, and to him alone we worship, and to him alone we ascribe all honor and glory. From me, from here, I wish to say good night to all of you. And thank you, MAZI, Jonathan, and good night as well from here.
Biafra gabanu umuchineke agaghị egwu mgbe niile.
Onye ka anyị ga-atụ egwu?
Biafra gabanu umuchineke
Chukwu okike abịa ma
mgbe niile.
Egwu adịghị m n'arụ. nwa Biafra ka mbụ ọ dịghị ihe mmadụ pụrụ ime ka ọ kwụsị Biafra Nnamdi Kanu ga-aba n'anyị n'azụ Biafra ga-abịa ọdịdị ihe ha pụrụ ime maka kofesasị ahụ dara tinye nwata weli akele aka lobe ya onye nke nwata Nnamdi Kanu gaba n'iru ikwu si na-eme nzọbụ enyi mba sigi ihe ga-emenụ egwu adịghị atụ anya egwu adatụ anya Chineke nna na-azụ anya Chukwu abịama n'ọya Chukwu abịama n'onyere anyị Chukwu abịama ga-ebuso na-adịghị ya anyị nweta Biafra egwu jadị ya Nnamdi Kanu gaba n'iru anyị na-esokwa gị anyị na-esokwa gị ise n'ike anyị ga-enweta Biafra Biafra ụmụ Chineke ise n'ike Chineke na-abụ n'ume Chineke na-atenu n'ike ike karịrị ike ka anyị wee merie ekwensu ọ dịghị ihe ga-egbochi anyị nweta Biafra anyị na-achọ ọ dịghị ihe ga-egbochi anyị nweta Biafra obodo ọma Biafra obodo ọma adịghị ya n'ụwa anyị ga-ejisi ike n'ọrụ Nnamdi Kanu Chukwu gọzienụ gị Chukwu nọnyere gị anyị nweta Biafra onye ọbụla pụta ka anyị niile kwado ihe ọma niile ọ na-eme ka anyị wee nwere onwe anyị Nnamdi Kanu biko gaba n'iru na anyị ekwughị n'azụ ọ dịghị ihe mmadụ pụrụ ime ka ọ kwụsị Biafra onye ọbụla pụta ndị jọ niile pụta ndị urobo pụta ka anyị nwere n'onwe anyị ndị dibịa pụta ndị doma niile pụta nọrọ n'okwu ka anyị nwere n'oge obiti dọnụ onye were n'onwe anyị dịghị ihe mmadụ pụrụ ime maka na Chineke nnakwanye n'azụ Chukwu okike abịa digide n'ụbịa n'otu ebe anyị onye ọbụla bịa ka anyị kwado Nnamdi Kanu ọlọmọ na-alụ ihe ọma ọ na-eme mbọ na-agba onyere anyị aka ka anyị nwere onwe anyị n'aka ndị Hausa ka anyị nwere n'onwe anyị n'aka ndị Fulani ka anyị nwere n'onwe anyị n'aka ndị Yoruba ka anyị nwere n'onwe anyị n'aka Naijiria onye ọbụla pụta ka anyị kwado ya ọ bụla jisi ike ka anyị niile kwado ndị Ijọ niile anụmasụnụ biko pụta ndị Igbo niile anụmasụnụ onye ọbụla biko pụta ka anyị kwado ya ọlụ Chineke nna nyere Nnamdi Kanu mgbe niile ọbụla jisi ike na anyị ga-enweta n'onwe anyị anyị ga-enweta n'onwe anyị ọbụla pụta ka anyị jise n'ike ka anyị kwado ya Nnamdi Kanu nọ n'alụ mbọ na-agba onye ọbụla bịa ka anyị kwado Nnamdi Kanu ihe ọma ọ na-eme maka anyị mbọ na-agbaka Chineke na-agọzi onye ọbụla anyị nwere n'onwe anyị fọ na-aga ekwesị onye ọbụla biko kwado Nnamdi n'ife ọ na-eme n'ife ọma ọ na-eme ọ dịghị onye ga-akwụsị anyị Chukwu abịama na onyere anyị n'ihe ọma anyị na-eme Chukwu abịama na onyere anyị na-anụ mbọ ka anyị na-agba onye ọbụla pụta ka anyị kwado ndị IPOB n'ife ọma ha na-eme ka anyị kwado ha Nnamdi Kanu pụta kama n'ọzọ n'okwuta egwu atụba ndị iro ole gị esi sekulu
This for the bereaved. This for the broken-hearted. This for the brutalized people of Biafra. This for the genocide on Biafra soil, our motherland. This is a song of hope, a consolation to the weary. Biafra is come. The sun is shining. God bless the souls of our fallen heroes.
Uche Chukugebe, I'm on this beat. Ikwebibo, I'm mega. Ngengwa monomo, MAZI. Ipibiole, Santanga. He don't tell, we don't dey suffer. For this contraption, we Britain creating Naija. How to eat in our hala, go to school na balaba. But a boki they flex our money, they we a tilabia. Jena all ye money for here. Chuko kike biko draw nyela. Never leave us, come and here. Insecurity na the fear, brutal killing na the order. Human rights na for water, corruption na the father. Boko Haram na their brother. Wait till we never see for here. At this point we no fit quickly lie. We no fit surrender na lie. Makode no na la, wadu mi hona toru jalozo. We no fit quickly lie. We no fit surrender na lie. Makode no na la, wadu mi hona toru jalozo.
Freedom is coming, freedom is coming.
Remain resolute.
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 Freedom is coming, freedom is coming.
Freedom is our goal. Truth is our watchdog. Biafra is our destiny. Biafra na religion. Chukwokike is our creator. Nande Kano na di Joshua. Ojukwu na di Otsi. IPOB na di main pillar.